There are times in life when the weight of our past feels almost unbearable, as if the chapters already written dictate every page that follows. But the truth is, our past is only the prologue, a beginning, not the whole story. This idea has echoed through centuries, whispered and shouted by those who have risen above the shadows of yesterday, forging new paths in the light of hope. Among the many tales of resilience, one story from the Jewish tradition shines brightly, a story that teaches us, no matter where we begin, our destiny can still be written by the choices we make today. Centuries ago, in a small village nestled among rolling hills, lived a young man named Akiva. He was the son of humble shepherds, a man of simple means and little formal education. As a child, Akiva never learned to read or write. He grew up tending sheep, his hands more familiar with the rough touch of wool than the smooth surface of parchment. Many in the village believed his life would follow the same path as his parents, a quiet, unremarkable existence. But Akiva's story was far from ordinary. As he entered adulthood, he found himself at a crossroads, burdened by the belief that his past, his lack of learning, his humble origins, meant greatness was out of reach. The world, it seemed, had already made up its mind about who he was and who he could become. One day, as Akiva wandered through the hills with his flock, he stopped to rest beside a stream. There, his eyes fell upon a rock, its surface worn smooth by the steady drip of water from above. For years, perhaps centuries, the water had fallen, drop by patient drop, carving a hollow into the stubborn stone. Akiva stared at the rock, struck by a profound realization. If something as soft as water could, over time, shape even the hardest stone, then perhaps, with perseverance, he too could reshape the course of his life. Inspired, Akiva made a bold decision. Despite being 40 years old, an age when many believed learning was impossible, he resolved to begin his education. He sat among children, learning the alphabet, stumbling over letters and words that came so easily to others. The villagers laughed at him. Some pitied him. But Akiva pressed on, remembering the lesson of the water and the rock. Change is possible, no matter how late the hour. Years passed. Day after day, Akiva studied. His progress was slow at first, but with every drop of effort, every moment of determination, he chipped away at the boundaries of his past. Slowly, the illiterate shepherd transformed into a scholar. He immersed himself in the ancient texts, his hunger for knowledge insatiable. The words that once eluded him now became the tools with which he would shape his destiny. Akiva's journey was not easy. There were times when doubt crept in, when the whispers of his past threatened to drown out his hopes for the future. Yet he remembered the rock and the water, and he pressed on. His persistence became a beacon, inspiring others to believe in the possibility of change. Eventually, Akiva became known as Rabbi Akiva, one of the greatest sages in Jewish history. His teachings would influence generations, his wisdom echoing through the ages. What began as an unremarkable life, defined by humble beginnings and limited opportunity, was transformed by the simple yet profound belief that the past is just the prologue. Akiva's story reminds us all, no matter where we start, we hold the pen that writes the next chapter. The lesson of Rabbi Akiva is not confined to dusty pages of history. It is a living testament to the power of hope, resilience, and faith in human potential. So many of us carry scars from our past, failures, regrets, moments of shame or sadness. We convince ourselves that these moments define us, that we are forever bound by the mistakes or limitations of yesterday. But just as the water shapes the rock, so too can we, through steady effort and unwavering belief, shape the story of our own lives. In every generation, there are those who feel trapped by their beginnings. Some are told they are too old, too inexperienced, too different, or simply not enough. But greatness is not reserved for those with perfect pasts. It is built moment by moment by those who refuse to be defined by what has come before. Consider the countless men and women who have risen from adversity, survivors who rebuilt their lives after loss, dreamers who dared to start over when the world said it was too late. Their stories remind us of a universal truth. Our past is only the introduction, a setting of the stage. The substance of our lives, the chapters filled with purpose, joy, and meaning, are yet to be written. To those who feel weighed down by their history, remember Rabbi Akiva. Remember the rock and the water. Every drop of effort counts. Every moment of courage, every small step forward adds up to a transformation that may, at first, seem impossible. In time, the impossible becomes reality. So let go of the belief that your past defines you. Let go of the idea that your story is already written. Instead, embrace the blank pages ahead. See your life as a book whose most important chapters are yet to come. Fill them with hope, with action, with kindness and learning. And when doubt whispers that you cannot change, recall the wisdom of the ages. The past is just the prologue. The rest of your story is waiting to be written by you. In the end, greatness is not measured by where we begin, but by how we choose to move forward. Your journey, like Akiva's, can become an inspiration for others. Start now. Take the first step. Trust that with patience and perseverance, you can carve your own path, one drop at a time.